welcome everybody. My name is Chrissy and today is the 18th of July and I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading, me and my doggos. This is Sprocket and that's Sophie over there, their brother and sister. So if you're new to my channel, I do prediction readings on the Great Awakening process as well as current energies that are happening sort of globally. So I'll close my eyes and we'll get started and we'll just see what comes up. They're tired today. Oh. People are hurting. This is hurting their hip pockets. People are feeling the pinch. Now, I said coming into August, if you look at my August prediction reading, I talk a lot about the housing market, and this is where people are starting to feel a pinch. We've already been feeling it on the groceries and petrol, pretty much everything, but the big clunker they're showing me now is going to be the interest rate rises, and they're showing me like one of those carnival games where you have the big hammer and you hit the bottom and then the thing flies up and hits the bell. Well, that's the clunker. That's what the guides are showing me. It's bang and then bing. It's going to hit the bell and it's going to time people out. So that's what I'm getting at the moment, that people are really hurting because they're just being taken out of the housing equation, I guess you could call it. I'm definitely getting that today. There's big changes coming, and I predicted that for August, but that's already starting to happen. Maybe there's a rate rise again around today. We'll just have to see where this goes, but I feel like they're really rolling this out and really going to start to increase. Like, you know, they started if they show you the graph of the interest rate rises, it kind of started nice and gradually, but now it's going to be like boom, 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 and it's going to go off the scale is what they're saying. The graph is now off the scale. The interest rate rises are just going to get to a point that people can't cope and manage them. Definitely getting that today. They're hurting. People are hurting now. They're trying to look at ways to get out, to sell out. We're going to see a lot more for sale signs on things. People are panicking now because they feel like they should have sold when the market was high. We know that housing prices are going to drop. It's inevitable. Gosh, I don't even know. Oh, and rent's going to have to go up for people to make their repayments. So this is where it all just starts to affect the little people, because anyone that's renting, you're going to have to pay more rent. That's just a given, so that these people can cover their mortgages. This is why I'm saying that in my August reading that a lot of people, it's not going to be viable anymore to kind of invest in housing and have rental properties, and you're going to have to be fairly wealthy to be able to do that. Once upon a time it was like that many years ago, and then it became more affordable for people to get into the housing market. But I do feel there's a lot of changes, so maybe we're getting these interest rates really moving abruptly now, and like they're showing me, they're kind of getting off the graph. They're just they're getting. And we know government lies. They're very good at lying. They said they wouldn't put interest rates up here till, I think it was, 2023. And I remember saying early in the year, no, this is going to happen quite a lot this year, and it has already. So, you know, we can't believe government, as we know on my channel here. I'll see what else we get today. Oh, these people rolling out this agenda. Oh, and if you're new to my channel, I often call them the leaders or the parliamentary people in charge, the government, all these people who are implementing this wonderful agenda to try and help everybody, which we know they're not. I'm getting this like really urgent. Things are getting really urgent for them now. They have to get all this out. If you think about it, things have got so extreme, haven't they? Like, I was thinking about it this morning myself, and I was thinking, this whole renewables is the word I'm looking for, is crazy. They are making everybody so muddled up and confused that no one can get a clear picture of what is going on. Now, even here on my channel, we have a fairly good idea of what's going on. But even for us, as people who are awake, this is mighty confusing, what they're currently kind of implementing. And we're not even getting that full story. I talk about that a lot, that we're only getting snippets as well. As much as we see things coming towards us, this whole renewable thing is a very, very complex agenda rollout. It's very complex, and it's hard to even get our head around it. So imagine these people waking up who are still caught up in the jab story, which is only the first part of the agenda. That was just a little bit of the starting point. And now they're just getting like consumed by all this renewables and climate change, and we have to go electric, and you need solar, and there is too much coming at people for them to cope. And this is so confusing for people, and that's what I'm getting around all this renewables. It's just, well, people are basically seeing through the garbage because it's not making sense. It's not like they've, and see, this is where these people putting the agenda out have rushed, and they're pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until people are falling over, and they're having to look at what's actually going on, because they should have, I don't know why they didn't, but they could have rolled it out in a softer way that over a period of time. Now they're calling it, as we know, the 2030 agenda, because we're all aware of that. If you're here and new on my channel, you might want to look up the Great Reset with Klaus Schwab and all his little plebs that are the puppet masters running the show. But this 2030 agenda, I really believe it's been sped up. I keep saying it's the 2025 agenda because that's how much they're trying to bring this forward. They are trying to get this all in place, so of course they can fill up their pockets with all their little coins and notes and everything else, and investments. We know they're going to make some massive investments, these elites and these people running the show, and I'm definitely getting that. I'm definitely getting this speed up. Even when I think about it, and I know you guys are pretty sensitive out there as well, I even get overwhelmed in the chest at the rate that they're bringing this out, because it's too much. I'm even trying to get a new car, and I'm feeling overwhelmed at the moment. I went to get a hybrid the other day, and they said they won't be in Australia, the bigger SUV hybrids, until another 5 years. So you get all confused what to do, and I know I'm not alone. I know you guys are in those same boats out there. So this is what I'm getting. Imagine how confused these people waking up are if we even knew this was coming, and we're still overwhelmed. So I'm definitely getting that about these elites. All the while, of course, they're giving themselves pay rises. We have the guy in charge of Qantas, the great airline here in Australia, has given himself, him and all these plebs, a big pay rise. Because they worked so hard during the pandemic. I think it's Alan Joyce is his name. I can't stand him, he's a pig. And treats all the little people that work for him like garbage. But as long as he gets a good pay rise, that's all what this is all about. And people are seeing it. That was even on, I think it was on mainstream media here, which is good bit of seed planting and light bulb moments for the people waking up. Because as the wealthy and the elites seem to be looking after themselves, I said all the parliamentary leaders are giving themselves pay rises here in Australia. That's not even hidden. So this is kind of what we're getting, that imbalance. It's really being highlighted to people now because people are overwhelmed. It's too much. It's just too much for these people. You know, I keep talking about them as the castaway on the beach falling over. Well, they're getting up. They're finding their strength. They're finding their voice. They're finding their, trying to get their breath back. This is the people waking up, not us over here. It can still be overwhelming for us too. Like I said, I get a bit overwhelmed at times, but that's because we take on a lot of other people's energy, because a lot of us on here are light workers and sensitive souls who do feel a lot of things. I'll just see where else we go with this today. Oh, guides are just saying like so much is hidden from view. Ugh. And again, they're describing that iceberg with everything underneath the water surface. You only see that little bit top of the iceberg. I talk about that a lot here. And there's all this beneath the surface. And we know there's all this beneath the surface. We don't even know the half of it. But they are showing me that it's almost like the Titanic at the moment. There's a little bit of a sinking of the ship. So see, this would be, to me, this would be about Sri Lanka. This would be about the Netherlands, the farmers standing up, because the farmers standing up in Netherlands highlighted it to the rest of the world. And now well, Canada did originally in America, but we've also had Australian farmers protesting here in Melbourne, not on mainstream news, of course. I share it on all my YouTube, Facebook platforms, as you guys do. But this is what's going on. It's being highlighted. And when the spotlight's put on them, the ship starts to sink. So it's almost like government, the ship is slightly sinking. No, not completely. But the fact that they've got a bit of a, what would you say, that they've hit an iceberg maybe, and put a little hole in the hull is a very positive thing, because it means the water's getting in. And that's what we're wanting. We want the ship to sink of these elites that are travelling on their lovely Titanic over here, we could say. Oh, and we're like the little, oh, God, it's just terrible. They're giving me that image of the Titanic, how all these elites are up the top. If anyone's seen the movie Titanic, we all know that they were a lot of them were very wealthy, and it was only the really low sort of, the poorer peasants, I guess you could call them, that used to shovel the coal in the Titanic down in the base. They worked down in the engine room, and they're showing that all the, you know, the little people were working for them on their big ship, these elites, and that's the image that I'm getting, that there is a hole in the hull of this ship. It's not going down, but they've taken a hit and they've taken a blow. So this is why I always say, with the agenda that's rolling out, anything that stops it in its tracks is a good thing, because they have to sort of pull the reins in a little bit. But then, unfortunately, as we know, as we were just saying, what tends to happen is that they speed everything up, because they start to panic, because they don't want the ship to sink, do they? They've been working at this for, well, as most people think, 3 years, but we know it's probably been a good 6 to 10 years, even longer, according to David Icke. I think he's been doing this for 30 years, trying to uncover all these narcissistic, greedy tyrants. But this is what I'm getting. That's why they start to panic and roll everything out faster and faster, because they don't want their ship to sink. They've done too much work. Can you imagine all the work that they did pre-pandemic, which is before 2019? They even did an artificial, yes, they had a trial pandemic to see if it would work, and it did work to perfection. I've got to give them that. That mass psychosis, whew, that took a lot in down the road of the jab, didn't it? So, you know, we know this has all been getting worked at for a long time. So they're not, the Titanic, we could call it the Titanic, because it's that, you know, it's just an image that comes to my mind. They want to keep it afloat. They want to keep this afloat. So you can almost see that they're kind of, it's showing me like scuba divers trying to tape up the hole caused by the iceberg. They're taping up to keep the information in. So they're trying to put tape in. These scuba divers are under the water, and they're like hidden from view and no one can see them, and they're trying to seal it up with these big gaffer tapes, and they're waterproof tapes that they don't want any information spilling out anymore, because then more people will wake up. So this is kind of the imagery that they're giving me today, is they're really trying to contain all the information and keep it hidden, so no more escapes out of the hull of the Titanic. Oh God, it's just, I hope this ship sinks, I really do. I hope there's more icebergs to come. We'll just see what else we get today. Oh, God. Oh, we get the strangest songs on here. I'm getting, it's a song by Skyhooks. It's an Australian band, and is it Skyhooks or Tim Finn from Skyhooks and Neil Finn? I think it's Tim Finn, and it's called 6 Months in a Leaky Boat. So this is what I'm getting for these big elites and everything. They've spent the last 6 months in this leaky boat. And if you think about it, that actually makes sense, because we all started standing up. I'm trying to think when we first started. It was early in the year, wasn't it? That, I know you Canadians, it was early in the first few months of the year, wasn't it? So these tyrants and dictators have spent 6 months in a leaky boat. So it's kind of showing me them trying to bucket out the water, and like I said, the scuba divers sealing up the holes. With the Titanic's a bit of a bigger ship, because we know they've built their biggest ship now because there's more leaders of the reset. We've got Albanese, Macron, Trudeau, Jacinda Ardern. I mean, how do these people get in? It's a bit suspicious, isn't it? And, you know, we're talking about the UK probably soon as well in that group. So it's all just folding out really well, and they've gone from this little leaky boat into this big Titanic ship now, and that's more what we're dealing with. But they're still dealing with the leaks in the boat. So I want you to look up that song today, 6 months in a leaky boat, and we'll see what messages are in that song today. I'm sure it's called 6 months in a leaky boat. It's an Australian, well, they're in New Zealand, actually. They're from New Zealand, Neil Finn and Tim Finn. I love their music. It's so brilliant. I was always a big fan of Neil Finn. He sings the best songs. So look that up. So that's what they're saying. And for 6 months, they've been trying to get the water out, seal up the boat, keep the boat floating, but then they built it into this huge big ship. And that's why it's been a lot harder to fight. And but we're getting there. There's still holes in the big ship. And that's what we want to hear on this channel, isn't it? I'll just see where else we go. God, it's showing me people standing up. Now, these are the people who have been in the mass psychosis and the people that I often talk about waking up. Not us. We're over here. Now, we're currently on the pier. If you think of the Titanic pulling away from the jetty and the pier, this was many, many years ago. It's an image you could look up on YouTube if you're too young to know what that was. And we're all here sort of waving at the ship and yelling out, and we're over here standing on the big old wooden jetty that's very stable. We're very stable, we're very grounded, and we're just waving at the ship now. Now, these people who are waking up, they're showing me them all on the edge of this Titanic, and they're wanting to tip the ship. So they're all on one side. So you've probably got a few of them people in mass psychosis spread out throughout the ship and just wandering around. But you've got these people now who are waking up, who are, like it said, it's explaining that they've all gone down this sort of the right side of the ship, and the ship is tipping. So this is people starting to stand up, starting to have their voices, starting to fight back. It's like the weight of these people is starting to also tilt the ship. So not only are these leaders and people in charge trying to seal up the holes in the Titanic, they're trying to stop people from tipping the ship over and causing it to be off balance. And that's why they've been pushing so hard, as I keep telling you here, with this B5 variant, the monkeypox. They're trying everything they can to let everyone know how scary and horrific, and this V has not gone away, and that we should all be terrified and scared because the hospitals are ramping up and it's just so overwhelming. Well, this is what they say on the news here in Australia. I'm sure you guys are getting the same thing. This is what's going on. They want to scare people back into submission. They want them to spread back over the boat. They don't want them tipping the boat over, because if too many stand up, it's too much weight on one side, and then it tips over and it's not in their favour. This is government and people in charge. So they're wanting to it's that same herding. They've got to spread people back onto the ship, because if you imagine everybody trying to get off the ship on this one side near the jetty where we all are, they're trying to get over there, but it's kind of showing me that they're just too far away. It's not like they can just jump overboard and swim. It's too far away. But the fact that these people are standing up and waking up, that's what we need, because that's that tipping of the ship. You know, hopefully they can find some lifeboats and they can all jump on and lower them down, because the Titanic never had enough lifeboats, as we know. But these people, hopefully they can find that lifeline and that rope and lower the boats and find some boats. Maybe we could zoom over with our power boats and save them all. I think I talked about that once in one of my videos about us being on the supersonic jet skis and saving everybody. But maybe we could, you know, hire some boats and tugboats and go and help get these people off this horrific boat that's just sailing into the darkness Oh, it's saying like a ghost ship. Because people don't want it. They don't want to stay on this, the path that they're on. They want to get off. And now they're leaning towards us over here on the jetty. They can see us. They can see us waving. We're like, come on, hello out there. Come over here, come on. It's really stable. The jetty's really stable. We can squeeze more on. That's what we're doing. We're the lighthouse for the ships. It's the same scenario. I'll see if there's any closing messages today. You know, I said it the other day with the pass a parcel analogy at the kids' party. People waking up know that this is the gift that keeps on giving. Remember, they were lied to. They were told 2 weeks, your life's back to normal and you get all your freedom back. Now, we know for you in Canada, that's not been the case. You're getting digital passcodes. Unjabbed are getting charged for God knows what. That happened in Germany as well. This is a global agenda that is rolling out that people are now starting to see and be a witness to. And they are afraid. I said yesterday, they're doing U-turns. They're wanting to move away from government. And that's what they're doing. They want their old life back. God, I hope they can get off this ship that's sailing away. I'll just see if there's anything else for us today. Yep, be bold, be strong, make a stand, never be afraid anymore. We are not to be afraid anymore. I know we went through phases where we were very afraid to speak up, go out. But like I always say to you, we're a mirror reflection for these people over here who are stuck on this ridiculous government Titanic ship that's got a big hole in its hull. We're the reflection. They can see us because we don't hide anymore. We're out and about and they're all getting sick. How's this work? Oh my God. It's just, it's like I said the other day, we're the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. And they still do focus on us. They still talk about, in Canada, I know you guys are still having issues around quarantining. If you go back into your country as an unjabbed person, you still have to go away for 2 weeks in your home. Like, what even is that? We're way past all that. I'm definitely getting that today, though, that we've got to just be ourselves, be bold, and take pride in who we are. That's the other thing that they're saying to me. I talked the other week about everybody joining together, and they were showing me the rainbow and having pride in ourselves, because that sort of represents the gay movement. But it's not only that, it represents everybody connecting together. The rainbow symbol to me is not just about the pride movement and the gay movement. It's about everyone connecting together. It doesn't matter if you're jabbed, unjabbed, gay, straight, black, white, green, purple. It doesn't matter. We're here. Look at us on my channel. We're here connecting in Terabella. We have named our new world Terabella because we're not going to go down into the new world order that they're trying to create. We've chosen a different path, and that's our new reality. And we're hoping to shine that light and show people that there are other ways. You don't have to just stay on that path or that ship that's sailing into the darkness and is going to self-destruct. If you think of the Titanic, it did self-destruct. It was supposed to be unsinkable. And look what happened. Sank like a beauty, and thousands of people died, and that's where this is all headed. I'm definitely getting that. So that's the song I want you to go and watch today. 6 months in a leaky boat. I'm going to leave you with that. At least we get to have a laugh and that on this channel. I'm picturing all these government leaders in this boat that's leaking and they're trying to bucket the water out. And I'm going to leave you with that image today. Take care, everybody. I'll say goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button. And I'll say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.